Howdy, my name is Nolan T. Painter, and in today's video, I want to talk about how self-preservation is a respect. So, living as if you already have someone to protect and honor, like in a relationship. So, why do we only act respectful and disciplined after we get into a relationship? Or why do we wait to become loyal when you can just practice loyalty right now? Well, the truth is, there's discipline and there's restriction. So as a good man, we know that we want to be disciplined. So we need a self-respect. So when we're disciplined in and outside of relationships, that means within a relationship, when a woman comes to us and asks for things like sex or like making out, which usually are like celebrations in the minds of men, to be disciplined means we need a self-respect. So we need to tell her, okay, maybe not right now, lady, maybe another time. Or, we're not quite ready for this, I want to be a good foundation, set a good foundation. Because as a man, you gotta lead, right? So this whole self-respect and discipline within a relationship comes from being a good leader, right? And if you're going to be a good leader, you're not going to lead her to the tip of the pyramid right away. You're going to start by building this beautiful foundation. So when you get there, you don't got to worry about things like, oh, does she love me? Does she care about me, right? You should absolutely hear her say, I'm going to dedicate the rest of my life to you before you do any of those things, right? And then there's discipline outside of a relationship. So you need a self-respect outside of relationships. You shouldn't be sleeping with random women. You shouldn't be having hookups. You especially shouldn't be just talking and being with a bunch of women, right? Even as friends in some situations, because you need a self-respect, right? Would your girl want you just hanging out with random women? No. Because as a man, would you want your woman hanging out with a bunch of friends? Bunch of guy friends? Bunch of gay best friends? No. So why do you do that? You need the discipline, right? And then you need restriction. So people often consider these restrictions as like insecurities. But the reality is when you restrict something, you're not doing it because you're insecure. You're doing it because you want a better life. You want to be more secure, right? In the moment you're insecure, that's why you go and fill your life with pointless points of lust and pointless and needless, frivolous activities with women. And you fill your life with nonsense and these degenerate relationships. Well, you want to build that security with someone special. So you need to be secure. You need to work hard. You need to set not necessarily boundaries, but goals, right? And you need to be mature. So we have a bit of a modern problem here because as we know, our generation isn't too keen on this. So a good woman wouldn't post bikini pictures, right? Here's our modern problem. We have Instagram, we have TikTok, and so many people like to post pictures. Women love to post bikini pictures. Guys love to post shirtless pictures. But as a guy, we all know a good woman wouldn't post bikini pictures. So why in the world are we posting pictures of us shirtless, right? And, a good man shouldn't post pictures of themselves shirtless, right? We're thinking, oh, no, it's okay. I'm a guy. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'll just do a shirtless picture on Instagram of my pump. That's exactly what girls say, right? Like literally, I'm dead ass. The girl I was hanging out with, she wouldn't post anything, but she'd take a lot of pictures on her phone for herself, right? And she wouldn't post it, which made her a good woman. But women naturally, they want to feel beautiful, they want to feel good. A lot of women's self-respect comes from how good they think they look and how good they're told they look. So you can imagine how similar it is between men and women, how we just want to post ourselves online for validation. But please, as a good man, if you don't want a woman doing that and you want to comfortably say to yourself, I don't want my woman posting bikini pictures, you need to tell yourself, I'm never going to post a shirtless picture, right? Why would you have a bunch of young women lusting after you if you don't want a bunch of young men lusting after your woman? It's ridiculous, right? It feeds into validation hunger and it only provides temporary dopamine, which is the exact same things of like lust and porn and masturbation. It's all temporary dopamine. That's all it is. It's just a business at the end of the day. So you need to eliminate that from your life. Right? And then you also build subconscious insecurities about your worth and appearance. Because why would you want people online validating you? Why would you want people on the internet or strangers validating you and telling you you look good when you could sit just naked with your partner and have your partner go, wow, you got big muscles, and then grab your bicep? Wouldn't that feel like 1,000 times better than a bunch of people on the internet? I don't know about you, but I would rather have a beautiful relationship where she can compliment my body and appreciate it, and I appreciate her body, right? Of course, prioritizing and appreciating our soul and faithfulness and goodness over everything, but appreciating our body rather than posting it online. I would rather have that than a billion followers. because I don't want to post myself on the internet. I don't want to do that. You need to have this restriction or this discipline with yourself and self-respect. And this doesn't mean you can just do it now and forget about it later, right? You can't just delete that crap when you're in a relationship. You got to do it now. Delete that crap now. So don't ever post it now, right? Because a woman will see that, and a good woman will recognize that and slap you and be done with you. So you need to do the changes now. Act as if you're in a relationship right now, so that way you're not changing when you get into one. Because love shouldn't change you. Love, well, okay, it should, but love shouldn't be healing you. Love shouldn't be a band-aid on a wound. Love should be building you, right? Love is not there to heal your wounds. You should heal your wounds on your own as a man. Love is there to make you more of a man and make you stronger and build, not to heal. You need to learn how to heal yourself as a man first, and then when you come to love, then you can be expanding yourself and being stronger, right? I had to learn that the hard way. I found love as the secure place that would heal me, but that's not true love. That's a dependence, right? And it's not bad to depend on your partner, but if they're not the one and they leave you, that leaves you pretty screwed up. But so that leaves us with the conclusion that we should be acting as if we're in a relationship at all times. That doesn't mean avoiding talking to women, but that means having this self-respect, right? And I've been there. I've wanted to post videos like that. I wanted to post shirtless photos, right? Believe me, I've been going to the gym. I've been really proud of myself. I want to be like, oh, remember all those people who are hating on me? Yeah, I'll post a cool pump picture or something. That'll show them. But really? I'm an idiot, right? I'm so thankful I never did those things. I've never done them. But now I can't tell myself I don't want a woman posting bikini pictures. And wow, I don't want a woman posting bikini pictures, right? The last thing I want is my woman in bikini and everyone staring at her. Like, I can't believe at one point I wanted that stuff. That is ridiculous. Let me tell you, you don't want your woman in bikini and people staring at her. Trust me, that's leave that to yourself, right? I think a woman's body and a man's body should be covered. And then only when they're alone and in a beautiful space, when they should reveal themselves to each other. And only in this beautiful, godly relationship where there's protection and there's security and there's faith. And you've built this beautiful base, then you're able to reveal yourselves to each other. And it's perfect, it's pure, it's loving, right? When you do it elsewhere, when you post it to the world, it's lustful and it's damaging and it hurts each other and it builds insecurities and it makes you worried about each other. I really don't want that. So why would I do that to myself? So again, you should act as if you're in a relationship with someone. So don't be posting pump pictures or muscle pictures of yourself, right? Don't be wearing revealing clothing. Don't wear tight shirts as a man in public, right? Keep that for your woman. Do that for your woman. And a good woman will tell you what to wear and what not to wear. The same way a good man will tell you what to wear, not to wear. Because a good man wants to protect a woman and say, I don't want you wearing that. That's too revealing. Please don't do that. Please respect me. Please respect yourself. I want you to have self-respect. And a good woman will do the same, right? And then we need an integrity in private, which is what I was kind of addressing, right? So who are you when no one's watching you? Who are you when you're alone with your woman, right? Who are you when you're not on the internet, when you're posting these disgusting photos of yourself, right? So we need to be private. We need to have this integrity together, right? You shouldn't be exposing that pure, special tip of the pyramid integrity where you're like alone and naked with your woman. You shouldn't be posting that to the internet, right? That's the biggest problem with OnlyFans, right? Being naked with a woman is like the tip of the pyramid in a relationship. That is like the ultimate top, right? Obviously you got to build a foundation, but that's like the very tip of the pyramid. And with OnlyFans, you're basically taking that tip and giving it to every man on the planet. So why as a man would you want to do that to your woman, right? Or even if your woman doesn't mind, if you as a man don't want your woman having an OnlyFans or don't want her posting bikini pictures, newsflash, I don't, then don't be posting pictures of yourself that are revealing on the internet too. Right? That doesn't mean you can't post anything on there. You can a nice photo of you in a suit or with your car if you like cars, or out at an event, or with your friends, or if you just did like a kickboxing thing where you just did a fight and then where you want to post a clip of you smacking some guy, then go ahead. But keep it nice, keep it respectful, right? It's not your portfolio, it's not your resume. You don't need to show your body off to everyone, but it's a social media account. And at the end of the day, you should use it to contact her and not as a platform to expose your body to her, right? And again, especially in scrolling, especially in social media, you shouldn't engage in lustful scrolling. You should avoid flirting for attention, right? Because social media isn't just an ability to share things about yourself, but it's the ability to take in information. So you got to be careful of the information you're taking in. You got to be careful of the things you're learning, right? When I go on my Instagram feed, which now I don't do it as often as I used to. I used to be on that thing like crazy, but I filled it with faithful videos and lovely relationship videos, right? Not the ones that tell you to worry, not the ones that tell you your girl's cooked, not the ones that tell you this, not the ones of girls shaking their ass like everyone sees on fucking online, right? You shouldn't see those things. And if you do see those things, you need to eliminate that. Throw your phone away. Get rid of that stuff. It's a detriment to your life. You don't need to see those things, right? If you truly want it, then build a beautiful life, have a beautiful base, have a beautiful relationship, and then when the day is right, when the time is good, you get to that tip, and you see it with your partner, right? Let me tell you, when I was in a relationship with a woman, the last thing I wanted was to see another woman. Seriously, the last possible thought. It was so in the back of my mind, I didn't even think about it. Ever. The last thing I would have wanted was to see another woman, right? I want to see my woman. I want to spend that time and have that good time with my woman, but never someone else. So why the hell would you be chasing that stuff on your phone, right? Like I can't wrap my mind around how stupid that is. How could you want that? How could you be chasing the tip of all the other women instead of just building the foundation with your own woman? Like, that's ridiculous. And it ruins your perspective on your woman because you don't see her, you see, well, everyone else. So why the fuck would you do that to yourself, right? Would you want a woman who's been screwed 1,000 times and then take your body and go, oh yeah, you're the same as everyone else, and not see you for you? You're just an objective for her. So why would you not want to make her an objective, right? Why would you want to make her objectified? Don't objectify your woman. Don't look at these things online. Distance yourself from the internet. When people say the internet's stupid, that's what they're referring to. They're not talking about this. They're not talking about open discussion. They're talking about the ridiculousness of how people just post themselves. Because the problem with the internet is you're not just posting things, but you're taking things in. And a lot of what you're taking in is horrible. And a lot of what people post is horrible. So you need to be mindful of that. Additionally, as a man, both in and outside of a relationship, but especially outside of a relationship, let me tell you, as a man outside of a relationship, you need to be preparing yourself. You got to go to the gym, not just necessarily for aesthetics, but for a healthy body and for confidence. You got to be confident. You got to stand up straight and talk with a deeper voice and say, this is what we're going to do. Here's how we're going to do it. I love you, right? You got to have this confidence as a man. And you can get that by going to the gym. Now, going to the gym for aesthetics isn't a bad thing. When I was with this woman, she would say, oh, work out your biceps, get bigger biceps, but at the end of the day, that's for her, right? I'm walking in public. I cover my arms. I cover my biceps. I don't want other people looking at me, right? I only want her doing that. So in those moments where she's like, oh yeah, work out for your aesthetics, I'm doing it for her. But essentially, you should be going to the gym to be stronger, to be fitter, to show off your hard work, right? Not showing off your body, but showing to her, this woman, that you do work hard, and she'll see that and she'll appreciate that. Speaking of working hard, you got to work hard not necessarily to attract, but to provide and lead. So when you are working hard for this woman, you're not doing it to show off and go, look how hardworking man I am, right? She'll appreciate that and she'll see that, but you got to take it and make it practical. So you got to see all that hard work and say, okay, well, I'm working hard, so that means I'm going to be a better leader. That means I'm going to provide better. My hard work is going to turn into money that will pay bills for the house and for the family and the future family we'll have. And all my knowledge and wisdom will turn into leadership, and I will lead effectively. And you, of course, through leading effectively and working hard, you got to do things like eating right. You can't just work hard and go to the gym. You have to live healthily, spiritually, physically, and mentally, right? And if you want to live healthy physically, you got to eat right, right? Why would you eat crappy food? And it's not just for looks, but you want to have long life. You want to have longevity. If this is a woman you really want to grow old with, would you want to grow old or would you want to die young? So you would eat right so you can grow old with this woman. And of course, there's not just eating and working hard, but you gotta think properly. You gotta think the right things. You gotta be confident. You have to put yourself out there, right? Not put yourself out there naked on Instagram, but put your mind out there so you can fully understand and fully build the wisdom that's necessary to lead a loving relationship. Right, and then here's the deeper message. A loyal man in silence is more powerful than a loud man seeking validation. And this is a big one, because naturally as a human, I want validation. Let me tell you, I'm crazy feedback driven. If this girl would tell me she loves me, I'd bounce off the walls and I'd go crazy and do anything. But if she told me she hates me, I'd be pissed off, right? Not mad at her, but just mad at myself because I'm insanely feedback driven. But a real man isn't feedback driven. That's a boy, a foolish boy. I'm a foolish boy at the end of the day. A real man doesn't take feedback and let it influence him. A real man takes feedback, analyzes it, put it to the side, just like his emotions, and then he leads with his wisdom. He leads with what's right. So a good man leads quietly, and he leads with wisdom through his quiet strength. Because a man who leads loudly is just seeking validation from others because he wants others to see. But if you have a beautiful woman, a beautiful relationship, why would you want other people to see that in you? Would you only want her to see it? And when you lead quietly, when you lead respectfully, a good woman would see that in you. Believe me, a good woman will see all those things in you and she will understand them and appreciate them. The same way a good man will recognize things in a woman and instinctively know what makes a good woman, right? Every man knows he doesn't want a woman who's going out in lustful clothing. And every good woman knows she doesn't want a man boasting about all of his opportunity. So you gotta be humble, right? And a patient man doesn't need to be seen, right? He needs to be ready. So a patient man is constantly waiting for the moment when he's ready, constantly waiting for when the woman's gonna come, and constantly working hard in those moments of waiting. And he doesn't need to be seen because all he wants is the eyes of the woman, not the thousands of eyes of all the people out there. And you can't lead with wisdom when you're still chasing validation. I'm telling you, you need the wisdom. You got to put your mind out there so you can have the wisdom. But you can't lead with wisdom if you're chasing validation, right? Here's the thing. Let's say my woman wants to dress inappropriately. So that would be a poor example because that would be a poor woman because she wants to dress inappropriately. But let's say in this magical scenario, this woman wants to dress inappropriately, and I, as the man, say, I don't want you dressing like that. Please don't. If she says, I want to dress like this, and I say, okay, go ahead, I'm seeking validation. I'm not leading with wisdom. But if I say, no, I've seen before, this is bad, please don't dress like this, and she says, no, I want to, and I double down and I say, no, I don't want you dressing like this, please, this is bad, then I'm leading her through wisdom because I'm trying to do something genuinely good for her and respectful for her and make her a better woman rather than just trying to get the feedback, the positive affirmations from her. Because not everything will be positive. Sometimes you need to go against the grain a bit. But that's what it means to be a good man. You got to lead not off of what your desires are, but off of what's good and what's important, what's necessary for your relationship. I'm so grateful to have been with a partner who would tell me, hey, do I look good in this? Or is this healthy? I don't want to look like a hobo. I don't want to look disrespectful to your family. I don't want to look scandalous. So I don't want to look like a slut, as they would say. So I'm very thankful for that because I wouldn't have to worry about those things. And a good woman won't let you worry about those things because she understands what a good man desires, which is a well-dressed woman. Right? The same way a woman wouldn't want a man just showing himself off, she would want a well-dressed man. And there's nothing wrong with wanting those things, but you yourself have to put yourself out there first and meet your expectation before you ask others to meet your expectation. So if you want your woman to dress well, you yourself gotta dress well. If you don't want your woman posting bikini pictures, you yourself can't be posting shirtless pictures either. Right? So again, the final point is that you gotta preserve yourself today so you can give your best tomorrow. Right? And again, you're giving your best for your woman and her only. So you got to preserve yourself as long as possible. People talk about sex and this and that and living this Christian relationship or whatever, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're religious or not. If you preserve your body and don't have sex with anyone, then it'll be so much more important when you do it with that person, especially sex. Let me tell you. So I've never done it before. I'm very thankful. I'm still a virgin or whatever you want to call it. I'm still very inexperienced, and I'm thankful. Because the more sex you have with different people, the worse it is for you to bond. It's called pair bonding, right? It's the bonding you have when you have intercourse with someone. If you have sex with 5 people, the 6th person is not, first of all, it's not going to feel the same. It's not going to be pleasurable because you're not doing it for the first time, so it doesn't feel good for the first time, right? And most importantly, you're not loving them. You're lusting because you love the first person, maybe the second person, probably not the third person, but the 6th person, probably don't love them. You're just doing it because you want it. And that's a big worry of mine. My worry is that if I find someone who's already done those things, do they just want to do it? Or do they actually love me? And as a man who suffers from lust, right? I myself am a victim of lust. I need to work hard to overcome my lust. Do I want a woman who's lustful? Well, no, I don't. So I need to become not lustful. And I'm very grateful to have been given opportunities to overcome my lust and never do those things. Right? Because let's say I had sex with 10 different women. On the 11th woman, am I doing it because I love her, or am I doing it because I want to, right? And what does that mean to her, right? Because when you do those things, it should be something you do because you love each other. It should be something you do because you're incredibly overfilled with this beautiful and raw love that you want to have intercourse. So what does it mean when you're with someone and you're just doing it because you're feeling lustful or you want to do that? And again, you might be thinking, oh no, you're getting off topic. Well, this ties all the way back to those posts. The same woman who's seeking validation for posting lustfully, the same man who's seeking validation for posting lustfully, will be seeking validation by having lustful intercourse with you and not having it through love. And those are the same people who are doing it with others before you because they want that validation from other people and not necessarily from you. So you should avoid those people who've already done those things. You should avoid those people who are posting themselves online because they don't want love from you. They want lust and they want attention from others. And that's a big hit. That's not love. That's lust. And lust is the furthest thing from love. So, yeah. And if you think about it for 5 seconds, it makes sense. A good woman wouldn't share herself with everyone, so why would you want to do that? Right? When you wake up tomorrow, ask yourself, if she saw me live today, would she feel safe, respected, and proud to be beside me? If the answer is no, well then you got a lot of work to do. You should become a man where you can say, if I wake up tomorrow and my woman is in my bed with me, would she be safe? Would she be happy? Would she be desired to be beside me? And would she be comfortable having love with me? If any of those answers are no, well then you gotta work a lot harder. You shouldn't wait to be in love to become loyal. You should be loyal to the future you're building. You should pray for the woman who you're going to see and be loyal to her before you meet her. That's what it means to be a good man. And you need to meet your own expectations before you can assert those on others. My name is Nolan T. Painter. I hope you appreciate the different style of video as it's a bit more rehearsed and it's a bit longer in runtime. Though a bit too much longer than I would have preferred. I'd like to have shorter videos throughout the week and then every Saturday I'll do a bit of a longer video with more detail. But let me know what you think. Again, thank you very much for watching.